Greetings all, thanks for serving on our campus. I'm so glad you decided to help folks feel welcome by making connections and even helping them take next steps. We have such a great opportunity with our first impressions teams, from hospitality to ushers and greeters and everything. So I wanted to make a quick tutorial on how to use Planning Center, or as we call it, PCO. And here we're going to help you learn how to accept and decline invites, set your serve preferences like blackout dates, and see what's happening on each individual serve date, and even find some training videos for each position. So I want you to know that towards the end of each month you'll receive a request to serve in a specific area via email and or text. Eventually we're going to be moving towards serving or setting serve times at least 2 months out in advance. That way you only need to deal with the scheduling around 15 to 20 minutes every 2 months. So then, just so you know, our hospitality director is leading over 100 volunteers right now, so we want to make that as manageable as possible. So we want you to do two things. Or three things. Once you have an account on PCO, please go in and block out your future dates that you know you can't serve. Anniversaries, birth dates, vacations, those kind of things. You can do that a year in advance. Accept and or decline requests within 72 hours of receiving them. That way we can fill gaps for the future and we're not hunting people down, the week before. Otherwise, there's really no need for a schedule if we're just figuring out the week before anyway. So, and also, if you have a last minute cancellation, make sure you use the system to decline that serve time. Just because you've accepted, you can go back in and decline if need be, if it's an emergency, and that will notify the person who scheduled you. So let's get started. So when you start with Planning Center, you're going to get an email from whoever set you up, and it's going to say, hey, welcome to Planning Center. Put in your password, and you're basically in the system at that point. It'll look something like this, but this is actually the service request. Once that's good to go, you'll actually probably receive a shadow request, and a shadow in our terminology is someone who just kind of hangs out to see how to do that ministry, or how they fit, or what they think, or it's just getting a taste of what the ministry does kind of from the inside. So but once you're really on the team and you're really plugged in and you're comfortable and you're saying, yes, I want to do this, you'll start receiving email kind of bulk requests, and this is an example of kind of a bulk request. So when I say bulk request, I mean multiple dates at one time. So I imagine 2 months worth of dates being requested simultaneously. That way you don't have to mess with it every single week. So this is a bulk request. It's not too big. It's about 3 weeks, but it's also the entire month of September. So this is my son's request, and if you'll notice, he can respond to the request simultaneously, and it pulls up, ta-da, this is the back-end system. So welcome to Planning Center. This is kind of what it looks like when you get on the page, at least on the PC version or the personal computer version. Now you can also download an app from the Google Play Store or the Apple iTunes Store as well, and it's a little bit intimidating on the phone, but for training purposes, I'm just going to show you the computer version. So anyway, when you get in here, you can, at the top here, you have a bunch of different areas. You have My Schedule, you have the calendar, you have your personal profile up here in the upper right corner, and you can click in that, or you actually have your specific area where you're serving. So if you're on the coffee team, you'd probably use the drop down to look at your coffee dates. And the grill team, you'll notice this is a lot more populated because we rolled this out recently. But as far as serving goes, you would click this, and you'll notice that my son has been requested for 3 positions in the month of September. And if he's okay with all 3, he can hit accept all, and that's it. If he wants to decline a specific date and then accept the other 2, he can do that as well. And then you'll notice it would do that. Now I'm not going to click that in right yet, but that's kind of where you can see that. So let's also look at the profile area so you can see what happens in there. You can obviously click and change your image. You can edit your personal information. if you need to. Like if you have a change of an email address, you want to move it. You can see that, oh, look, there's some blockout dates on here. There's some serve dates that, here's my next serve date that I'm coming in, or these next two, and then these are not even scheduled yet, or they're not approved yet. So you can see that reiterated right there. You can also set your preferences right here, which is how many times you want to serve a month. And then your teams are this is kind of your proficiency. So Austin's pretty young, so he's probably not ready to be the team lead for the grill or run the register at this point. But he can serve food and he can serve ice cream to kids and other adults. So that's why he has 2 flags. Of course, the director of First Impressions has every flag. So as you get better or get more training, you can start gaining more flags, and you can get scheduled in different areas that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So anyway, that's this area. So if you want to go back, you just hit Plans. This kind of takes you back to home base. Let's talk about the calendar. Again, calendar's over here on the left. You can see that in green is the dates that he's scheduled, but if I go forward in September, you'll notice these are not approved yet. So those need to be accepted. And then also you can see kind of the master calendar. I'm not going to click on that, but you can view that. I don't see a need for that, but there's an option to see that. It's normally used for the directors to see from kind of a high level of what's happening in all areas. And then, of course, blackout dates. This is very important. This is where you can go in, like I said before, and I did a previous tutorial where we had some blackout dates, so I added some blackout dates, which is the 24th and 25th of December. And those are blocked out, so he can't serve on those dates. And so be sure to go in and set your blackout dates if you have any anniversaries coming up or special birthdays, or you're going on vacation, that kind of thing. Also, calendar integrations. If you want to use iCalendar or Outlook or even Google Calendar, you can click on those and try those out. So let's look at the service area drop down. Okay, so if you're in a specific area, for instance the grill, and I know I'm serving on September 1st, I want to look at what's happening that day. You'll notice Austin over here on the left is in yellow because he hasn't approved yet, and notice up here he's in yellow to remind him, hey, you haven't approved this yet. He could accept, and we're good to go. And it doesn't show there, so I'm going to refresh it here, and it should show, oh look, he's approved, so we're good to go. You'll notice here also, this is the time signature of what's happening on the day of the event, or of the that Saturday, because this is the Saturday team. Sometimes I like to click this to see the actual time. So he knows that he needs to be here at 3:50. It also says that here for his call time and huddle. He needs to be checked in with his name tag. And then this kind of explains to him what needs to happen on, before his team's done at 6 p.m., which is kind of nice. And it also says that he's serving with Natalie on the ice cream team if she approves. Right now there's nothing there. It shows that John is the coordinator, and I'm on register, or Daniel's on register, and I'm the team lead, which is Ryan. And there's some other people that haven't confirmed yet. So that's kind of what's neat to have. You can see the team breakdown of who's on your team and who's kind of running the show and who's helping out in different areas. So you kind of know when you show up what you're supposed to do when you get there. It's kind of nice. What's really nice about this, though, is when we have special events. So when you have a special event like, we're going to do nachos or tacos or hot corn dogs or something special in the food world, it's very possible that we can shoot a video and do some training prior to anyone even showing up. So, we can shoot a video and say, hey, this is how you make a corn dog, or hey, this is how we're going to do the prep stations. And we can have that all laid out in advance, and that can be put over here in the attachments, and it can also be up here in the media, which we will get to here in a second. But what's really neat is, look, if you've been on the team for, a while, you kind of know a lot of this, and that's great. But if you're new, it's really nice to know where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there and who's doing what, and, there's a lot of tribal knowledge that's hard to pick up on. It's easy when you've been there a couple months, but it's really hard day one to know kind of where you fit in. So that's kind of why we do Planning Center. It's one example. So finally, I want to talk to you about the media and training video. So obviously, we're not going to use any songs, but if you click media up here, the idea here is we're going to actually build some training videos for all the areas in which we do stuff. So I'm going to show this wrapping video here that I started and made. Let's see if this plays.
So we are loading the burgers. One person will be putting the burgers on the cheese and buns so that those greasy hands don't mess up the nice wrapping. Nice.
So now we have a clean wrapper and the customers are not getting dirty, greasy prints on their wrappers. So cheeseburgers, the white side goes out.
So you can kind of see, I'm skipping this video
once
here.
they're wrapped, for Saturdays we do that.
Yeah, because that's going to be the first thing to go.
Stranded by my failure, empty, but your love ran after me. You gave me what I needed, broken, now completed. I do not deserve.
So yeah, that's kind of a training video. So you can see how powerful that can be when we start doing, hey, how big are your ice cream cones, or hey, how do you turn on the register, or what are the how do you connect the drawer to the register, or how do you cook the burgers, or how do I go, I don't know, prep the the dispenser for the ice cream machine, or how do I clean the ice cream machine? So we can start building videos and building a stuff. Now that's specifically for the grill. Now obviously for the coffee shop, same idea. We can have a number of videos just for coffee. So if someone couldn't remember how to make a frappuccino, they can click on a video here and they can watch the video and say, oh, so this is how you make a video, or how you make a frappuccino. This is the order
now we're
size.
going to make a of the drink. Sometimes there's a wonky, but for this example, I'll use this. And always, there's going to be cheat sheets. You're going to be able to make any cremies.
So what's really nice is that we don't have to go outside of Planning Center to get all this stuff. Everything can be housed kind of in the same spot, and that's kind of the beauty of Planning Center. Sometimes it's a little slow here, so I apologize. But so not only are we having a scheduler, so yes, it does scheduling, but it also shows what people are supposed to be doing, the positions they're actually supposed to be in. It also provides training and some media for that as well. We also will host some of our documentation, so you can see kind of our packets and kind of get to why we're doing what we're doing and all that. But that's basically the training. If you have any questions, please give me an email at, so my email is ryan@atwoodsites.com. That's RYAN@ATWOODSITES.com. And I thank you for your time. Bye now.